Module 6, Rights and Responsibilities of Workers and Employers. Okay. Session 2, nasa page 16 tayo. Session 2, Rights and Responsibilities under the Labor Code of the Philippines. Okay. Page 17 tayo, nasa activity 3 na, Introductory activity. Basahin natin mga objectives. To become more familiar with the workers' rights and responsibilities based on some provisions of the Labor Code of the Philippines. Ayan, maging familiar daw tayo sa ating karapatan bilang trabahador at ating mga responsibilidad base po sang-ayon po sa provision po ng Labor Code of the Philippines. Become familiar with the employer's responsibilities based on some of the provisions of the Local Code of the Philippines. Okay, simulan na natin. Imagine that you have completed your course. You applied for a job as an encoder in an office and you were hired. Okay, so halimbawa, imaginein daw natin na na-complete na natin yung ating pinag-aralan at ngayon naman ay nag-apply ka sa trabaho as an encoder sa opisina at natanggap ka. Before you start working, it is important for you to know your rights and responsibilities under the Philippines Labor Law. Bago ka mag-umpisa sa trabaho, mahalagang malaman mo ang iyong karapatan at ang iyong mga responsibilidad base sa Philippines Labor Law. Okay. Brainstorm a list of rights and responsibilities you think you will have as an encoder in an office. Okay, so halimbawa, pagpalagay natin na hindi tayo familiar o hindi pa natin alam ang Philippines Labor Law. Maglagay lang tayo ng ating mga karapatan bilang isang encoder. Natanggap ka sa trabaho bilang isang encoder. So ano kaya ang mga karapatan mo? Ano naman ang responsibilidad mo? Itong sagot ko po ay sagot ko lang po at simpleng sagot lang ito para makapag-isip pa kayo ng mas magandang sagot po ninyo. Okay. Sa aking rights, aking sagot ay mabigyan ng sweldo. Yan, karapatan ng isang encoder ang mabigyan ng sweldo. Maayos na palikuran, siguro. Tamang oras na pahinga. Itong aking responsibilidad bilang isang encoder, magtrabaho ng 8 hours. Tapusin ang work. Igalang ang boss. Hindi ako sigurado, no? Halimbawa, hindi ko pa nababasa ang Philippines Labor Law. O di, ito yung sample answer lang. Okay. Let's move on po. Nandito na tayo sa page 18. Read the statements below that have to do with rights in the workplace. For each statement, write true or false based on your understanding of labor laws in the Philippines. If you think it is false, change the statements or the statement to make it true. Okay, kung true ang sagot niyo, ilagay niyo true. Pero kung false ang sagot niyo dito, baguhin niyo yung statement. Itama niyo ito. So ito yung mga statement. Okay? Ito naman yung sagot niyo, true or false. Pero pag false ang sagot, baguhin niyo yung statement dito. Kung hindi kasya, isulat sa papel. Okay, number 1. The Philippine work week consists of 45 hours. Kunwari lang ito example answer lang ito. Nilagay ko true. Pag false po ang ilagay nyo, ilang oras ba dapat ang isang work week? Okay? Yan. Young people under age 15 may work if they have their parents' permission. Kung 15 years old ang bata ay pwede siyang payagan magtrabaho kung papayagan ng magulang. Okay. True or false? Employers may require its employees to work even during rest days. Ang mga employers po o mga boss ay pwede tayong i-require o kinakailangan pagtrabahuin ang mga employees o mga workers kahit na rest days. Halimbawa, Sabado, Linggo, ganyan. True or false? Ang workers should not get involved in policy decisions about his or her rights because the government is the one making those decisions. Ang mga workers daw ay wag dapat makialam o sumali sa policy decision o sa polisiya pagdi-decide ng polisiya sapagkat tungkol sa kanyang karapatan sapagkat ito daw ay gawain naman ng gobyerno. Okay. True or false po? Number 5. Workers are entitled to paid leave at the employer's expense. Ang mga workers daw ay nararapat na magkaroon ng sweldo kahit siya ay nag-leave o nagbakasyon ng 5 araw, ganyan. Okay, true or false? Now you can read some of the articles of the Labor Code of the Philippines. Correct your answers above based on what you learn about the information below. Discuss your answers with your mobile teacher to validate your answer. Okay. Pag-aaralan na natin ang provisions under the Labor Code of the Philippines. Okay. So, i-check down natin yung sagot natin dito base sa pag-aaralan natin dito. Kung tama nga yung sagot ninyo. Okay. Ito na po. Article 83, Normal Hours of Work. The normal hours of work of any employee shall not exceed 8 hours a day. So, dapat 8 hours lang nagtatrabaho ang isang trabahador sa isang araw. Okay? 8 hours lang. 8 hours a day. So, sa isang work week, merong 5 days times 8. So, dapat 40 lang. Okay? 40 hours lang. Article 139, Minimum Employable Age. No child below 15 years old shall be employed except when he works directly under the sole responsibility of his parents or guardian. His employment does not in any way interfere with his schooling. 15 years old pababa ay hindi po pwedeng magtrabaho, hindi pinapayagan. Pwede na lang kung ito ay nagtratrabaho naman sa kanya, para sa kanyang magulang o mga magulang mismo ang may responsibilidad sa kanila. Dapat yung kanyang pagtatrabaho ay hindi dapat nakakahadlang sa kanyang pag-aaral. Yan po. Okay, Article 92. So, ibig sabihin, masasagot yung tanong dito. Okay? Article 92, when employer may require work on a rest day, kailan ba nararapat na i-require ang worker na magtrabaho kahit na rest day? Halimbawa, Sabado, Linggo po, walang pasok talaga. Kailan ba may karapatan ang isang employer na pagtrabahuin ka kahit rest day? Okay. Letter A. In case of actual or impending emergencies caused by serious accident like fire, flood, typhoon, earthquake, epidemic, or other disaster or calamity to prevent loss of life and property and imminent danger to public safety. Kung meron pong sakuna, okay, itong mga nabanggit dito, pwede po tayong pagtrabahuin. Okay? Kasi syempre, kinakailangan magtrabaho. Letter B. Dito na tayo sa page 19. Okay? In case of urgent work to be performed on the machinery, equipment, installation to avoid serious loss which employer would otherwise suffer. Halimbawa po, may nag-shutdown na machine o kaya equipment o may kailangang i-install para hindi ah, masunog o kaya magkaaberya ang planta, ganyan, o yung workplace na kung saan ito ay ikakalugi ng inyong boss, pwede kayong pagtrabahuin. Okay. Letter C. In the event of abnormal pressure of work due to special circumstances where the employer cannot ordinarily be expected to resort to other measure. Kung wala na talagang magawa, wala nang ibang choice, ah, kahit anumang dahilan nito, ito ay special circumstances lamang, hindi naman lagi-lagi. Kung wala na talagang ibang paraan kundi papasukin kayo, pwede po yan. To prevent loss or damage to perishable goods. Halimbawa, gulay yung produkto, may dumating na delivery, Sabado, biglaan, pwede kayong papasukin kasi masisira yung produkto. Where the nature of work requires continuous operations and the stoppage of work may result to irreparable injury or loss to the employer. Okay? Kung ang trabaho ay nire-require na walang patid na operasyon, halimbawa planta, hindi pwedeng ah, ihinto. Halimbawa, gawaan ng yelo. Pag hininto yan, magiging tubig yan, malulusaw. So, ibig sabihin, kailangan dire-diretso po yung trabaho. Okay. Letter F, under other circumstances analogous or similar to the foregoing as determined by the Secretary of Labor and Employment. At alin pa mang mga kadahilanan na kapareho dito sa mga nabanggit ay na na sinabi na o binigay na ng DOLE or Department of Labor and Employment. So yan, ibig sabihin pinapayagan ang employer natin na require tayong pumasok kahit rest day. Okay, Article 211, Declaration of Policy. It is the policy of the state to ensure the participation of workers in decision and policy-making processes affecting their rights, duties, and welfare. So, binibigyan tayo ng karapatan, na mag-participate, makisali sa decision and policy making. Okay? Pagdedesisyon at paggagawa ng polisiya na makakaapekto sa ating karapatan, sa ating duties at sa ating welfare. Okay? So, ito po, masasagot po dito. Yan, sa number 4. Okay. Article 95, Rights to Service Incentive Leave. Okay. Every employee who has rendered at least 1 year of service shall be entitled to a yearly service incentive leave of 5 days with pay. Kung kayo ay tumagal na ng 1 taon sa serbisyo sa isang kumpanya bilang empleyado, kayo po ay entitled na po sa isang service incentive kada taon, leave of 5 days with pay. So, pwede kayong magbakasyon o anumang kadahilanan gagamitin nyo ang leave ninyo na 5 days, may bayad po yun. Okay. This provision shall not apply to those who are already enjoying the benefit herein provided. Those enjoying vacation leave with pay at least 5 days and those employed in establishments regularly employing less than 10 employees or in establishments exempted from granting this benefit by the Secretary of Labor and Employment after considering the viability or financial condition of such establishments. Ito naman itong 5 days leave with pay ay kung po meron naman na yung kumpanya nito at kayo naman ay nagbe-benefit na, okay na po yun. At kung kayo po ay yan, kung kayo po ay nasa kumpanya na merong konting empleyado lang, less than 10, okay? At walang kakayanan ang establishmentong ito, itong kumpanyang ito, na magbigay ng 5 days leave with pay, at ito ay naprubahan ng Secretary ng Department of Labor and Employment, o exemption po yan, ano. Hindi kayang magbayad ng 5 days leave, so wala pong bayad yun. Okay. So natapos na po tayo dito sa provisions under the Labor Code of the Philippines. Ngayon, sharing is caring na po. Share 5 statements with family and friends and discuss whether they think the statements are true or false. So kayo naman po ang mamili. Pili kayo ng 5 dito. Ito pala, sorry. Ito, i-share ninyo sa inyong mga kapamilya, kaibigan, itong na to. Tapos sila naman ang sumagot kung true or false ba ito. Tapos pag-usapan ninyo, i-discuss ninyo yung mga sagot nila base dito. Kung paano yung ginawa natin. Okay? So, dyan po nagtatapos ang ating pong activity 3. Okay?